There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Anger is on the punt, and he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now Breeze. He's going to air one out into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and just shedding him off there. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Following the interception, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. 30, 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Well, these Buccaneers coming off a 4-game drop-off from a year ago, 9-7 in Dirk Cutter's first season to 5-11 last year. It's now 10 straight seasons without a playoff appearance, and in fact, they have not won a playoff game, Charles, since winning Super Bowl 37.
And in order for them to get back to the playoffs, they've got to go through their division, which is awfully tough and high-powered on offense. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. So the Buccaneers made the investment. Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. Also picked up Bo Allen and Vinny Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles. So the defensive front.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
3 down, ready? You ready? 41's coming. 41's the mic.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Dancing to his left. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down. Ready. Blue 80.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To throw, it's Breeze. Forced out to his left. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conti. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready. Blue 80.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Trey Hendrickson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And taken right at the 35. Look at the dance and the juke. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Ready. Blue 80. Hey, 4-1's Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Ready to check.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vinny Curry. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze.
It's just me and you.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. The Jaguars extending their lead to a couple of touchdowns now. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll go on the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
My 50, my 50. Easy.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think
Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready to go.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Green, triple C. Ready? Blue, ready. Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready? Both steps to the mic, folks. Where's that? Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready to go. Where's that?
They go play action. Winston finding a safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Hey. Ready? Black 25.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Sub. Let's go. Hey, ready? Blue, ready. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. 5-0. Watch the run. Motion. Reset.
Jameis again. And this is going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention here on the Saints offense as they come out. And last year they were coming into 2017 with 3 straight 7-9 seasons. Well, they got it turned around. Won the NFC South at 11-5. Won a wild card game. And then we all know the story. Heartbreak in Minneapolis.
But it's one that won't break this team, I don't believe. I think it's actually something that they can use as fodder for the season, as something to build upon. And when you think of New Orleans, you naturally think of offense. You think of Drew Brees. You think of Alvin Kamara last year as a rookie, making the big plays. Mark Ingram running the football, throwing it to Mike Thomas out wide. But the key to this team continuing to get better remains on defense. And I think it was shown in the draft when they made the big move and drafted Marcus Davenport out of UTSA to rush the passer. They know they've got to win their division, which means slowing down some high-powered offenses in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kevin Minter leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On play action, now Brees. He gets it to Thomas. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Easy.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one...
This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Hey, two.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Steps away to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He dumps it down to Ingram. And here he'll they'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Ready? You waiting? We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vinny Curry in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Curry, a cap casualty of the Eagles in the offseason. Tampa Bay happy to have him.
More than happy. Ecstatic would be more like it. They needed edge rushers. They added Vinny Curry first. And don't get fooled by the sack numbers, which are below double digits. This guy creates pressure on the quarterback on just about every snap.
He started all 19 games for the Eagles in their run to the title. Around the NFL, they're into the 2nd quarter in the Meadowlands. And we're seeing an extension of the lead by the Jags. They're up pretty big. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Let's go. What?
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now this time, Breeze will throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brent Grimes. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, Let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Parker. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Hey, easy.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Breeze now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Start right there. 11. Ready.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to go down again. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. With it is Jackson. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A first down throw for Winston. Evans has it left side. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Santos yanked that one a bit. No good. Wide to the left for Santos. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Room to run past midfield. He's got daylight. The 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Quan Alexander in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Ready. Blue 80.
Breeze now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17.
Ready. Blue 90. Ready for shot.
Shotgun now for Breeze. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On play action, it's Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Ready. Blue 80.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. And that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they've burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Hey, I'm coming.
Here we go with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Touchdown, baby. Let's go.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Ready. Black with his head. Sonic.
On third down, Winston. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Jameis to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barber. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he gets it down to the 32. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. P.J. Williams with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure the guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A 3rd quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Jaguars have scored again, so they are in the driver's seat big time in that one. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Let's go now.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber, 62 yards. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. And they decide fairly early here they need the ball back, so here's an onside kick. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Ready. Yellow lady.
They start the drive on the ground, Kamara. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Saints on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 14.
Ready.
Play action. Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Green, triple C. Ready. Blue lady. 47 Mike. Hey, sub. Let's go. Wait, up.
Following the interception, Winston throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Play action now. Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Sonic. Boys, hot.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Green, triple C.
And they'll run it here. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Peyton Barber, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a three-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now this time he'll look to throw. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They run. It's Kamara. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on. And this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. Where's that? Where's that?
To throw, Winston. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Breeze. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Parker. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Hey, easy. Okay. 11.
To throw is Breeze. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Kevin Minter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
13.
Now Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Vinny Curry getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
12.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though...
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Sonic! Ready!
First down, Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got it complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Well, good start for him under center here in overtime, now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert. Green, triple C.
Another carry now for Rodgers. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Winston now to throw on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Come on. Sunday.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Come on. Sunday.
He'll get it up the middle, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal.
Hey, let's go. Green, triple C.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So So for Tampa Bay, it was a game that could have gone